Welcome back to the Outdoor Talk podcast. This is episode number 7 now.
7.
I think so.
Big number 7. That's my favorite number.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite number.
Oh, come on now.
I used to, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Sounds like a dad joke.
Man, what you been up to? I haven't
Man,
seen you in a while.
I know.
It's been a minute.
I know. But we're back.
We are
and that's
back.
the main thing.
I know.
We're doing this for the people.
Yeah.
And for us, of course.
It's for y'all.
Yes.
For everybody that's listening, this is for y'all.
Yes.
We are sitting up here in about 95-degree heat.
95 degrees of warm weather in the great state of Texas.
Yeah, it is hot outside, about 85% humidity here in Texas. And but you know what? It's time to get ready for deer season. No matter how hot it is,
Yep.
you know, opening weekend's usually about this hot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
First
I was
week of
thinking of
October
August.
here in Northeast Texas, it's normally 85, 90 degrees. Terrible. So that's what we're doing. We're getting ready for deer season.
I was just trying to resemble the auctioneer. Yep. But anyways.
You know what he says? He says what's he say? I saw a video. He's like, what he says, he's like, I can't even do it.
Just try.
It's like Betty Crocker went and got some butter. There's a deer out there. Look behind you. There's a deer out there.
Deer about 300 yards out here in the middle of the pasture.
Yeah. It kind of looks like he's got horns. Maybe not. But we're up here having a podcast about deer hunting, and we're seeing some deer, so that's a good sign.
That is a good
That
sign.
means they are out in this 90-degree heat.
Yes, sir. Okay, you ready?
Let's hear it.
This is really important for the people out there. If you're doing something, anything at all, preparation-wise. I just rolled up to Nelson's to do the podcast, right?
Yep.
And this joker is outside shooting a target at 10 yards and a piece of paper.
Paper tuning my bow.
Paper tuning his bow.
Getting ready for season, man. You got to start now.
Making sure that his arrow is going through this piece of paper straight as possible.
Yep. I'm looking for that bullet hole, but right now my bow's a little out of tune. I'm getting a knock right tear. A low knock right tear.
So essentially, the paper, as soon as he's shooting it, it's splitting. It should be just a little pinpoint.
Yeah.
Little
Should be a
bullet
straight
hole?
bullet hole.
Yep. And then now it's just a long. It looks like you're throwing a credit card through it. Kinda.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's not what you want.
But it's preparation.
It is.
And
I'm glad I'm...
it takes the time.
Yeah.
And you're doing this now. Unlike me last season, shooting my bow once or twice before go sitting in the stand.
Yeah,
Preparation is what it takes to be successful out there. Now, let's say you go out there, you hadn't shot your bow all year. You go up, you hunt, big joker walks in. The big one that you've been searching for.
And you haven't shot your bow all year.
Yeah. And it is, what you said, going to the left?
Yeah, it's
Little
a knock. The point's going in, and then the tearing towards the right, and then down a little bit. So it's a knock right tear.
That could be a potential limb that you hit instead of the deer. It could be, anything.
Oh yeah, if you're not having that bullet hole, that arrow's coming in just slightly sideways, and it could hit something, but you're losing a lot of penetration. That's when you're doing that. When your arrow's coming in sideways, you're hitting that deer sideways, so your arrow's not going straight through like a perfect bullet hole.
The reason why I'm so interested in it is because I've never seen it personally. Now I've shot in front of you call them a Bowtech, I guess, not like the actual brand, but like someone that is more experienced with their bows. Bowtech, yeah. And I've shot paper, I think, before purchasing a bow.
Yeah.
Or just looking at them.
Usually when you first buy the bow and he sets it up for you,
Yeah.
during the setup process, a good Bowtech will
Yeah.
shoot through paper and just make sure you're getting that perfect bullet hole.
Okay.
And there's several different ways to fix it if you're having different tears.
Mm-hmm.
And you can move your rest. That's where you want to start first at your rest.
Okay.
So I should move my rest to the left a little bit to correct that knock.
Ooh, yeah.
But
So after the rest, what do you do then? What are you checking for?
if the rest doesn't do anything, then it's either your form or your cam timing or your cam lean could be out. And then different bows have different ways of fixing that. Like a Matthews has these little top hat system, and there's a little spacer between the cams, and they lean the cams a certain way towards the riser. So potentially mine, I've been getting the same tear over and over, no matter how much I'm moving things. So it's either me or the bow, and I'm thinking it's the bow. Yeah. I don't know. I've changed my form a little bit, just trying to fine tune it, and I think my cam lean's just a little off. So all I got to do is take it to a Bowtech, put it in a bow press.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have a bow press.
Yeah.
And majority of people don't have a bow press, and take that cam out and swap
Right.
the spacers over.
Okay.
Yeah,
Simple
super
fix.
simple,
Yeah.
super simple. If you have a bow press, but if you ain't got a bow press, it's not simple.
Pretty difficult.
Yeah,
Well, no, it was just encouraging though. We talk about preparation. We've talked about it the last couple of episodes, but to see it, I've been working. I know you work.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting the gym after work. I ain't even doing that right now. But it doesn't mean you can't start.
I know.
And that's what it's all about. Start today.
Yeah, this is a great time to start because you have a couple months, depending on where you're at in the States. Some places have early archery season for velvet bucks. We don't have that opportunities here, but we could go do it. Like
I wish
we
we
go to
could, though.
Kentucky or
That'd be
maybe Arizona, shoot velvet mule deers. And I think the seasons are like August, so they got next month.
Man.
And then September archery season for elk. So you need to be shooting your bow right
crazy.
now.
I
But for
know.
whitetail, we got a couple months, so we got plenty of time to fine tune our equipment, get them stands hung, get them food plots in, get them trail cams out, and get prepared.
Speaking of stands, though,
Yes, sir.
what are some of your stand locations this season?
Well,
For early season, like let's just talk early season,
all right.
month of October. What you think you're gonna
Okay.
do?
For this time of year, I'm looking for a food source because most of the time the deer are out on the green, something green like wheat fields or like freshly planted wheat.
Okay.
Well, take that back. Probably not on wheat because wheat's usually planted later in the season. Around here, wheat's planted about October. So I'm just trying to pattern deer on maybe beans
Okay.
or some native grasses somewhere. Food
so just
source.
Food source, but potentially like an ag field of some sort.
An ag
Okay.
field or whatever the deer are feeding on that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're lucky, there might be some acorns dropping, early season acorns.
Ooh.
Around here, our acorns usually drop in like October, November.
They drop late.
They drop late because we're kind of southern hemisphere. Like if you're up north, they might start dropping really, really early.
Right.
But I have not seen that here unless the wind come picking up and start
Yeah.
knocking them down.
Big
But
storm maybe or something
yeah,
like that.
most of the time our acorns are a little later than people up
they,
north.
Can they drop prematurely?
They probably can. I don't
Like,
know much about it.
I've seen one, like, have you ever just, like, been walking through a field or walking through just, like, some trees and seen an acorn, like, have the shell, like, completely over it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's probably a type of acorn or type of oak tree.
Okay, well.
Well, there's a shell. It's called a bur oak.
Yeah.
And the acorn is completely
No, not the big one.
okay. not
Just
the
like a
big-
traditional acorn. Like, I said acorn.
Acorn?
Acorn? Acorn?
We're from Texas. Guess
I know.
acorn.
Acorn. All right, anyways. Yeah, but no, just tiny little acorn, okay?
Yeah.
Covered up completely in the shell.
It might not be grown enough.
Okay, all right.
That's probably what it is. Probably just fell off and it's
Yeah.
still growing. So the meat, the main part of the acorn isn't developed yet.
Have you seen squirrels eat them?
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's so annoying.
I love them.
sometimes.
I like shooting squirrels.
No, I don't shoot them. Everybody in the stand obviously wants to shoot them, I feel like, especially if they're not seeing deer. But I feel like as soon as I shoot, something's going to either blow or, something's going to just bust me. And
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it.
I'm usually the guy that shoots a squirrel.
Really?
Yeah, I like shooting squirrels. They're fun.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Hey, that should be a goal for this season, not to shoot a single squirrel and to shoot your PB or your PR with your bow.
Yeah, personal record,
Mhm.
personal PB, personal best.
Personal
Ooh.
best. There it is.
Yeah, but okay, my stand locations this time of year, I'm looking for food sources, whatever the deer are feeding on, and ideally I'm getting out there and scouting beforehand and looking for tracks, see where they're at, congregating right now.
Yeah.
And field edges. If there's acorns dropping, I'm on an acorn tree. I would say persimmons because persimmons are usually later in the season when we first get that frost.
Mm-hmm.
When the first frost happens, then persimmons start getting ripe and the deer will start
Right.
eating them.
Persimmon trees are amazing to hunt
Yeah.
over. Deer, it's like, it's candy.
Well, our other place east of town, there's persimmons everywhere, and it's almost like a nuisance of them because they sprout so fast.
Really?
But it's like you can't pattern the deer on them because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But now here, where we're sitting right now,
Yeah.
back there behind the house, there's like a handful of persimmon trees, and the ones that you do see, that's what the deer are. I promise you. When they're right, when they're ready.
Yeah.
If the coons didn't get them first,
Ooh.
because that happens.
Hey, the coons compete with the corn.
Yeah.
Hey, I have tons of pictures of them.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm doing. We're allowed to run feeders here in Northeast Texas, and I'm running feeders. I mean, why not? It's legal
Right.
to do, so you might as well do it.
You
know?
should. If you have the ability to,
Yeah.
you should.
It's a super helpful tool to manage your property.
Right.
The deer will sit there and feed, and then you can be selective and make sure you're taking the right deer, the mature deer. So corn and baiting is a very helpful management tool.
Since we are talking about baiting, I know that you've been putting out mineral licks and protein.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, a gentleman actually told me last season, if you're unfamiliar with a new area, typically deer tend to keep the same patterns.
Yeah.
Now that they might transition into a new pattern from like October to like let's say rut.
Yeah,
they might
late
switch it up a
season
little
patterns,
bit. Yeah,
for sure.
But if you are interested in setting up a new stand location during this time, don't be hesitant. Don't be hesitant. Like get out in the field and like glass, just like with what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Go and look and see. Because see, last season I wanted to move my stand from in the hardwoods on the edge of the field, but I was kind of cautious because I was like, okay, is this a stupid move? Because it's already season. Like, is it dumb? Is it smart? The best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that until you actually do it. So you got to go do it.
Yeah, you got to get out there and watch some deer.
But if I would have been smart about it and went and glassed before setting up a stand, I would have set it up where I have it now. I ended up having to move it last season. Wasn't a big deal. Ended up getting it taken care of in like one afternoon. So I didn't feel like I messed up anything.
Yeah.
But deer, man, they can pick up a lot of scent.
They can.
So,
And yeah, you can blow them out of the area too if you're hunting too much there.
Mm-hmm.
But in our situation, we work all the time. So when we get the opportunity to go hunting, even if it's 5 minutes before shooting, not 5 minutes, but like an hour before
Right.
shooting lights over, hour before dark, we're taking that opportunity no matter what the wind is, just because we don't get that many opportunities. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But okay, you're right. Perfect example. But with that being said, running a little late, indecisive maybe of where to put a stand,
Yeah.
you are purchasing something pretty quick, and that is
I'm gonna get me a tree saddle.
yes, sir.
And that's a good. I haven't used one yet, but from what I've seen, what I've read, what I've watched on YouTube, it seems like the way to go.
right.
Because you put it on and you can move stand locations so fast. You can either have already trees selected with steps already in them, or you can have your steps on your back and then you can bounce the tree to tree when you're running late or your stand's not in the right location and you want to move 5 trees over. You don't have to go undo all the ratchet straps, nothing. You just go slap that stand up, slap the steps up the tree, climb up there, tie your tether on, and you're ready to hunt.
You're ready.
Pretty much. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. It's what it looks like.
But it's exciting.
It is.
And you
It's
have the
something
ability, the ability to move from stand to stand if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or do you think that you're going to actually put this? Well, I don't know if this is how it works or not. We can cut this if not. But are you eligible to leave the saddle stand up, or you have to physically come down with it?
Okay, so the saddle, you're wearing the saddle.
Okay.
It's like a harness. It's like
Right.
a climbing harness. But you have a platform, like a small, say the platform, like your lock-on tree stand.
Right.
Say the seat. You got a platform the size of the seat that you stand on.
Okay.
So you could potentially leave that in the stand,
Sweet.
or leave that in the tree and your steps and everything. And then once you climb up, you just tie on and you're ready to go.
Now, next question, can you actually purchase the individual, just,
The platform?
the platform?
Yeah, you can have platforms all in the trees you want.
That would be sweet.
And then you just walk in and just tie on, you're ready to roll.
Oh, man.
I know. But that platform's so small, it will literally fit in your backpack.
Oh.
So, like, you just carry it with you. And it has one strap, pop it off, climb down, leave your steps, take your steps with you, go set up another tree.
Dude, that's sweet.
Say you're hunting in this spot right now.
Yeah.
And tomorrow morning, you're like, okay, take that back. You're sitting in the stand right now, and you see all these deer walking down a trail that you didn't even know was there, like 100 yards away. You're like, all right, tomorrow morning I'm setting up there, and you don't want to go blow your stand out, making a bunch of racket. You get your saddle on, you just climb down, take your steps with you, and that next morning you go set it up right before light, and you're in the spot. Like,
There it is.
Fast as easy.
Yep.
Fast as easy. I don't know if that is, but
Hey, I like it.
I like
that could be a new little. Hey, fast and easy.
Fast.
No,
that's what it was supposed to be.
Fast and easy,
not
I guess.
fast as easy.
fast as easy, but fast and easy.
Oh man, that's funny.
But hey, that's encouraging though. Saddle stands, man.
I know I want to get one. So when I do get one, I'm gonna make a couple of YouTube videos of unboxing it, testing it out, and then I'm gonna have like a couple months, maybe after the season, I'll do
Yeah.
a full review on what my thoughts were on it. It's kind of like the new trend. A lot of people are getting into them, and a lot of people are liking them.
Well, so on my hunting page on Instagram, I noticed the saddle stand first thing last season.
Yeah.
And I saw some of the Sitka guys that I follow that rep it like crazy,
Yeah.
actually hunt out of it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it does look a little sketchy.
It does look sketchy, but it's like any other stand. Like the first time you get in it,
True.
little platform,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, but
And
once
you're
you get-
safe too.
You
You're
are safe.
Yeah.
It's just like wearing a harness,
Right.
Like you're a tree stand harness, because you're already
Tell
you're
us a little
saddled in.
bit. Tell us a little bit about the harness though, like what it actually does when you're up there and you're standing on the platform.
So like a traditional.
No, just the saddle stand. Yeah.
So the saddle, it goes around your waist, around your butt, and it's got it's almost like a hammock for your butt. Okay,
Okay,
so it's like
okay.
a little seat,
Little diaper.
little diaper, and it comes up on your hips, and you have a lineman rope. What a lineman rope is, it goes around the tree and connects to you, so you're always connected to the tree when you climb up.
Right.
Once you climb up with your lineman rope all the way up, you leave your lineman attached, and then you tie your tether on, and your tether is, say, a head height rope.
Okay.
That you tie on, and it has an angle coming down to another bridge that's connected to your waist,
Okay.
and you're hanging like
So it connects to the front.
connects to the front, and you
Okay.
literally just hang there.
That's awesome.
But you lean back with your feet on that platform, so you just lean back on the tree, and you can shoot 360 degrees.
That is so crazy.
And what's cool, what really turns me on to this saddle hunting, I bought all these tree stands, all these lock-ons, and I have them all different locations.
Right.
I could have bought one saddle and hunted all the locations
That's
with
awesome.
one purchase.
Dude, you could go in there and say, "Hey, look, I'm hunting this feeder right now just because I know deer are here, but not the big ones, and I'm just trying to fill my doe tag,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to stay away from that prime area where I really, really want to hunt during the rut. Saddle stand, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, here's a question for you. Why are you waiting till the rut to try to fill your buck tags and not try to fill them
no.
earlier?
Sorry, if a buck presents itself, dude, and
You
I'm
take
there,
him.
I'm taking him 100%.
But here in Texas, the first or bow season is doe season, potentially.
yeah, right, yeah,
And then the first 2 weeks of rifle season,
Correct.
which is November, you can shoot does too.
Yeah.
So we try to fill our does before they get bred and in the season. So
Hey,
that's where you're coming from.
I'll always enjoy taking my bow out too. I don't
Yeah.
really take my rifle out, unless it's a last minute thing or I'm
Like
really
me.
really trying to kill a deer. Yeah, last season, man, I'll never forget that, dude. That was so cool.
That was awesome.
Nelson killed him a really, really nice deer with his rifle. And Nelson hunted so hard with his bow. He wanted it to happen, but he got it done just with the rifle.
Last
Knocked
day.
it down, man.
I said last day I'm gonna bring my gun out. Sure enough, I took it out there, and I wasn't even wanting to hunt. I was like over it. I was like, I'm just gonna go see what happens. Sure enough, right at last light, a big old boy come out. My PB.
Yes, sir. Hey, he's got a YouTube video on it. Go
I
check
do.
it out. Link in the bio.
Link in the description,
Description, excuse me.
show notes, whatever it's called in this sucker.
This is a podcast,
It's
baby.
a podcast.
Let's get it.
This Outdoor Talk podcast.
The outdoor talk. Hey, let us know if y'all are interested in apparel too. Hats, hoodies, shirts. Let us know. Just leave us a comment down low if y'all are interested in on potentially buying a piece of
Merch.
merch.
Yeah. A while ago, you said something about minerals, and you said you're putting out minerals. So the reason why I'm putting these minerals out is for this time of year, the bucks are putting on antlers, so they need minerals for that bone development. And then the does are producing milk for their fawns, and the fawns need those minerals. So them deer are licking those supplement that you can put out to make your deer herd healthier.
And it's just a one-time thing. All you got to do is put it out.
Yeah, put it out, and then once it's gone, you go get you another for $5.
I mean, it's
$5
that simple.
trace minerals from TSC.
Okay, so he does the $5 trace mineral. Nelson has recommended me to go to our local feed store and buy your traditional Salt Lake too.
Yeah, Salt Lake works great.
It's like $5 as well.
It's
Just
it's
a
the same
cow
price.
lick.
I just get the trace minerals because there's more minerals in one block. So
Okay.
there's salt
Okay.
and there's like magnesium, iron, potassium,
stuff.
whatever else is in there. Trace minerals. Now you can also get the Trophy Rock, which is another brand,
Right.
but it's marketed towards deer hunters, and it's like maybe 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Not a pound. It's like I don't know. It's small.
Just a big rock.
Just a big rock.
Just a
It's
big
just
rock.
a trace mineral rock.
Yeah.
And they're like $12-$15.
Expensive.
Or you can get the like 25-pound, 30-pound trace mineral block for $5. And all it is that rock ground up, packed into a block.
There it is.
Pretty much. So
Yeah.
save your money. Little tip for you if you're putting out minerals this time of year. Go to TSC, Tractor Supply, Atwoods. Pick you one up.
This is I do not like this, okay? I was going to say a dislike, but when you walk in, to whatever outdoor store you're purchasing your licks at, your salt lick, excuse me, and you see this like strawberry banana lick for the biggest deer. Like, you know what I'm saying? They try to sell you this just absurd. I don't even know, man. It's just, we can cut that too.
No, I know what you mean. They have all the. I seen there used to be one called like deer cocaine or something.
Deer cocaine.
It's just salt. That's all it was. Like table salt.
But while we're kind of on the mineral protein, I want you to tell the people about your protein feeders and what you're doing there. But also Rice Bran. I want you to talk a little bit about Rice Bran as well.
Okay, to start off with the protein, I'm putting out this year. In the past, I've done this, and then probably the last 2 years, I kind of skipped out on it just because I got busy. But I used to put out protein every year, and I'm buying Purina Antler Max like 20. It's like 20% protein, and the only reason I'm doing that this in late summer here in Northeast Texas, it gets super hot, so it's a big stress period for deer. So I'm trying to supplement these deer with a little bit of protein, and yes, they can get protein from the ragweed and the native forbs and everything. But just to have a little extra supplement out there that the deer could be, we can also pattern the deer off these supplements. But potentially, the reason why I'm doing it is for the stress period, for the late summer, when it's super hot and the deer, they're just not getting the stuff they need when the grass is burning up and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm feeding this. I put it in a protein feeder and then also dump some on the ground. Now for the Rice Bran it's got protein in it, but it's mainly a fat. So I like feeding Rice Bran like late season, and deer smoke it. It is like candy to them. They get their noses all in it, and they're kind of skeptical at first. When you first put it out at a spot, I noticed the deer, they kind of like look at it, like, what the heck is this? And they go up there, and then once they get their nose in that sucker, it's like a drug, man. That deer just start licking it up.
Rice Bran to me has always been a secret.
It has.
Not too many people know about Rice Bran.
Yeah.
So to even say it, I mean, I want the people to have the best chance possible to kill the biggest buck of the lifetime.
Where it's legal to bait.
Where it is legal to bait, yes. But Rice Bran is one of those, it's specific proteins, it's specific fats, little
carbs.
extra little powder that you can put out there to really,
Yeah. Essentially what Rice Bran is, it's ground up rice hulls. So like say they at a rice, what's a rice, like a rice gin? What do they call that?
Well, I know they have rice fields.
I know, what do they call that? Like
the gin? It's just call it a gin.
A gin? Like
it's
rice?
a cotton gin, rice gin.
Really? Or
corn
rice?
Gin?
Wherever they produce
I don't
rice. Okay, at the place they produce the rice and they shell it and everything.
Yeah.
All the powder that falls to the bottom, that's all scooped up and bagged, and it's like I don't know how somebody came up with it, but one day we're at the feed store and this guy's like, "Hey, you want some Rice Bran? You want to try it out for your deer?" We're like, "Yeah, sure." This is several years ago, and it came in a brown sack, no labels on it, like it was just scooped up off the ground.
Yeah.
At the rice
real
factory.
Sketchy, right?
Yeah, and we dumped it out, man, and the deer went crazy for
Really?
it. And then it started catching on, and I say probably the next 15 years it's been. You can get it at
TSC,
Walmart with a
Walmart.
buck on the front of it.
Yeah.
And if you read the ingredients, it says Rice Bran.
Hey, it's a trick though. It's a little tip, little trick. You know what I'm saying? So get out there, put some Rice Bran out. Just tell the people though, real quick too, on how you put it out, how you apply it to the field, what you do.
Yeah, I think nowadays they make a Rice Bran feeder. It's like an
Really?
auger, and it augs out
word.
a pile like every so often, like whatever time you set it to.
Yeah.
But I just pour it on the ground.
Okay.
Usually when it gets wet, like when it rains on it, it kind of the water kind of beads up, and then once it gets like super saturated, it'll cake up eventually. But then the hogs come in and mow it down, get rid of it. But the deer,
they can kind of hoof it, right? I say hoof it, like literally kick off the hard part at the top, and then get to the more powdery stuff on like the bottom of it.
Yeah, we're just dumping piles, and like I'll put like a quarter of a bag out at one spot, and then it's like a 50-pound bag, so it goes a long ways.
So you can put it in different stand locations if you really wanted to. Now, transitioning from one stand to the next, is it pretty difficult to keep, contained inside the bag, or does it get everywhere?
No, you just
get
roll
all
the
over
bag
your
up.
ATV? Oh no.
Nah, you just cut a little small hole at the top and dump it out, and then roll it up.
You go put it out in like 5 different stand locations. I
It's all
see.
over you.
Yeah, it's like you're just super wide or something.
Yeah.
Powder everywhere. What'd you do? Hey, I don't know.
I've been rolling around some Rice Bran.
Deer cocaine, man. No, it's the best on the market. No. That's what we can call it. It's just some deer cocaine because they go crazy for it. So go get you a bag of Rice Bran. But no, super excited, super thrilled for another season.
I can't wait. I'm so pumped for this season. I've been shooting my bow every day, preparing, putting some protein out, some corn, getting my trail cams out. That's another thing. I've been running trail cams.
Trail.
The deer are starting to show up.
Cameras.
The bucks are starting to show up. Before you leave, I want to show you some pictures.
Oh.
They're starting to pop up. The antlers are not fully developed yet, but they are getting there. I say maybe we have 2 more months of antler growth at the end of September, something like that. That's when they start shedding velvet. So it's getting here.
That's crazy.
It's like 2 months away. Less than 2 months away.
Have you recently bought a game camera?
I have. I bought 2.
Okay.
What are they called?
That's what I was wanting to know. What they were
Not
called.
Cuddy back. Covert. I bought 2 Covert trail cams, and they are, for the money, they're about $90 a piece.
Okay.
But they're like 26 megapixel, and they have like HD video with sound.
Nice.
They're pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's good purchase though.
It's a great purchase. They take really good pictures during the day, decent pictures at night.
Okay.
Which most trail cams, they're night times are just so.
Yeah.
But so far so good. And
Not super white though.
no, it's
At nighttime.
not super. It is black and white at the nighttime just because of the infrared.
Right.
But so far so good.
So sometimes I have an issue with. I have a wild game camera, and it was fairly cheap. It's not super expensive, like about $100.
Yeah.
And some of the infrared photos, the night photos that I'm getting, man, if they're super close, it's all distorted. Like
It just blows out
yes,
the
yeah.
highlights and everything. Yeah.
Right. It makes
That's
it
just-
difficult to kind of see.
Yeah,
So,
you just get what you pay for. Like
Right.
there's some cameras out there now. They're like $300-$400.
Really?
And they're like, it's like taking a picture with your DSLR.
man, that's crazy.
I know.
I've always wanted my game camera to pick up, not to change the subject or anything. We're still talking about cameras, but I've always wanted my camera to pick up my bow kill. Like the arrow going, like you see
Yeah.
those random
You see 'em
photos
all
of
the
it, just
time.
like someone getting lucky, having their camera set up kind of by the corn. Well, I mean, essentially that's where it's going to be anyways. But then you see this arrow coming out the deer, and it's
Yeah.
like blood going everywhere. Not to make it too gory or anything, but it's just almost like, man, I want that to happen one day.
Well, you need to put your camera on video, and once that deer, you see that deer get in front of that camera, then you shoot it,
Oh, hey.
or get close to getting in front of the camera, and then you shoot it.
What we should try to do this season for the people is get a GoPro. Not saying duct tape it, but like we'll find a way to rig it up, and then get a super close. It'd be so cool if you could make it to where it's not a lot of scent on it. Maybe put a cover on it. Maybe spray some. Okay, I'm sorry. Change the subjects.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Scent killer. Scent killer. I am a firm believer in scent killer, hands down, without a doubt.
I'm not
But yeah,
at all.
Now,
I've used them all. I've used Scent Killer, the Dead Downwind spray. I haven't. Okay, take that back. I haven't gone through the whole shebang, like washing my clothes, using the deodorant, brushing
Right.
my teeth with the stuff, and wiping my ass with their toilet paper.
no.
But now,
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm just saying, all I've done is spray down with the
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
No matter what the wind's doing, if the deer are downwind from you, they're going to smell you, 100%. Because you're
Yeah.
not spraying your bow. You might be spraying your bow, but your bow, the molecules of that spray aren't sticking to your bow and penetrating
Right.
the metal, whatever.
But Nelson came to me last season and actually said this, and I was bumfuzzled. I was shocked. I was like, "You got to be kidding me! You of all people?" Because Nelson he's a brand guy. Essentially, you are. Like, regardless if you want to deny it or not, you like,
Yeah.
not saying the best of the best brands, but once you kind of stick to,
Yeah. Once you use a brand for so long,
Yeah.
you like to stick with it, and you're kind of you do get kind of attached to it,
right.
essentially. But I
But-
have been opening my eyes a little more. Like, I wasn't gonna get that Covert
Yeah.
just because I never knew anything about them, and then I started reading on them, like, oh yeah, and then I started seeing some Sitka stuff.
Okay.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
So hey, you never know, I might see something with Sitka
Hey,
on it.
that'd be such a dream come true right there. try to make that happen
Yeah.
this season.
And I shoot a Matthews bow, and I probably shoot another Matthews bow, but I wouldn't mind trying like a Hoyt or the new PSCs. The new PSCs supposedly are really
Man.
sweet.
And I don't know. Hoyt makes a super. Is it carbon fiber?
Yep.
Bow.
So
super
does PSC.
lightweight.
PSC makes one too now.
Man, these carbon fiber bows nowadays, you pick them up and it's like you don't even have something in your hand. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're faster than ever right now too. But bows right now, man, it's pretty penny. Pretty penny.
Pretty penny. Yep, you're right. Personally, I like let's talk about bows in another podcast before we
Okay.
go into too deep
Okay.
in the rabbit hole. because I could talk about this all night long.
I know.
And we'll just say that for another podcast.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, we are excited for deer season. Getting out there prepping, putting some stands out, putting some corn out, getting inventory of our white-tailed deer.
Exactly.
We
Checking
are
cameras
pumped up.
every 2 weeks or so.
Yep. I think
Well,
I
you're
check
probably-
mine once a week.
Yeah.
I run down here and check these, and then the ones 30 minutes east of town,
Mm-hmm.
probably about every month or so.
If that.
Yeah, if
I know
that.
you're out at the land quite a bit.
Yeah.
Out
I
there-
would like to be out there more.
Yeah.
But it is pretty warm out, and, I like to go to the lake, do a little surfing.
Oh yeah. Nelson's awesome out of the lake, boy. Let me tell you, wake to wake, he's got it.
Yep.
And surfing the wake, definitely got it.
Well, I don't know about that because last weekend I could not jump. But anyways, y'all get prepared for the season. Don't procrastinate too long. And we got plenty of time to get out there, change stand locations. Make sure you check those ratchet straps. Make sure you check those stand pegs or whatever. Check your stands. Make sure they're safe. Don't climb it if they're not safe. Take them down if you feel like the tree's unstable now or something. Just be cautious and stay safe. Don't procrastinate. Be prepared for the season because it'll be here before you know it.
Don't hesitate to get out there and switch it up.
Yeah,
If you
switch
need
it
to.
up. Pattern them deer and hunt them hard early season. And once the deers transition, you transition with them. Get that saddle and bounce around with them.
So get out
Teared
there.
up over here.
Hey, no, get out there. Don't be afraid to fail. Move that stand to where you really, really want to move it. Maybe where you don't want to move it.
Learn from your mistakes
Yes, sir.
and move on.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Excited for the season, man. Pumped up. I got goosebumps over here, man.
I'm over here crying from that.
Hey,
That hit me hard.
I know. I'm excited.
Right
It's
to
going to
the-
be a good season.
Down deep, man. It is. I'm
Listen to
excited.
that while I'm going to stand.
I'm going to be aggressive this year. I'm going to try to get that buck with my bow. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of the Outdoor Talk Podcast. Thank y'all for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all the...
Do everything you can, okay? Like, subscribe,
Let's redo it.
hit the... Okay. I was going with it, bro. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Outdoor Talk. We're your hosts, Tanner Bowden and...
Nelson Cobb.